Islam, Shalom, Hola, Aloha, Bonjour, Osio, Assalamu Alaikum. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor, coming to you live in full effect. Like, share, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I'm dropping new content. Leave a comment, interact with me. Thank you. I really do appreciate your viewership. Let's jump into another one. Back at it again. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition. Have some definitions for your dome beast. Let's jump into it. Alright, hopefully everything's clear, everything's bright enough and legible. I'm pretty much going to be going over definitions I've covered before, but we're going to hit them again for those who might have missed them the first time. I want to start off by talking about trust. Very, very important. Let's see. In general, a right of property, real or personal, held by one party for the benefit of another. All right. So that's the most basic breakdown of it for the most part. It says a right of property. All right. Real property or personal property. All right. That's land, real estate. Personal property is like, clothing, jewelry, personal effects, papers, things like that. Intellectual property as well. All right. Let's see. It says any arrangement whereby property is transferred with intention that it be administered by trustee for another's benefit. All right. So the person who benefits from a trust is called the Christie Q Trust. It says a person for whose benefit a trust is created, or who is to enjoy the income or the avails of it. All right, the avails, the covering of it, the income. All right, and the actual enjoyment of the property. All right, so it's pretty much detailing a beneficiary. See, the person whose benefit. And always remember, when you see this word person, it's not always talking about flesh and blood. All right, it could be talking about a artificial person. All right, let's continue along here. Contingent trust. I wanted to go over this one slightly. All right, it says an express trust depending for its operation upon a future event. All right, so when it says operation upon a future event, all right, that could be something unforeseen. If someone passes, it would activate. If someone gets a divorce, all right, it could potentially activate. All right, contingent, like a contingency plan. All right, just in case, or if said event does happen. All right, if someone is incapacitated. All right, if there is some type of dispute in the future between siblings, it could activate this contingency. You know what I'm saying? Contingent trust. I also wanted to go over second. All right, just in case you don't get it, express is another one for the actual definition for express trust right here. A trust created or declared in express terms and usually in writing. All right, as distinguished from one inferred by law from conduct or dealing with or dealings of parties. All right, so it's pretty much letting you know this is something that will be carried out immediately. It doesn't have to go through other steps of law. It could just be declared in the paperwork, in the writing itself, for this contingency and for it to be immediately executed. That's the express part. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully everything is legible. All right, I want to check out this one. Private trust. Now this is what you always want to do with your trust whenever you create one for your family. All right, one established or created for the benefit of a certain designated individual or individuals, or a known person or class of persons. You get what I'm saying? See, don't forget, this word can also mean artificial person. That's why it says or class of persons. Also, it says clearly identified or capable of identification by certain terms of the instrument creating the trust. All right, so it specifically outlines who this trust is to benefit. All right, who it is to go to specifically. And then I want to carry that one over to this part right here. All right, trust allotments. When it says specific people, all right, so trust allotments. So look, allotments to Indians in which a certificate or trust patent is issued declaring that the United States will hold the land for a designated period in trust for the allottee. All right, see how this part says like a private trust, and it says for a certain for persons, for individuals, for individual or individuals known, or class, a class of person clearly identified. And then you go over here and you see how it says like allotments to Indians. That would represent a certain class of people, class of persons. All right, hopefully that makes sense. All right, also want to check out this small portion right here. Notice we're still on trust. Now this is part 2 of the definition. Sorry, the first one was one in general. This is the second part I want to go over. It says constitutional and statutory law. All right, so this is all dealing with trust. Don't forget, it says in association or organization of persons or corporations. All right, you see how it has persons or corporations? It's the same thing. It's artificial person. It could be a natural. If it doesn't say natural person, your best bet is to assume it's speaking about a corporation, an artificial person. All right, having the intention and power or tendency to create a monopoly. All right, you see, a trust can be used to create monopolies, fam. Control production, interfere with the free course of trade or transportation, or to fix and regulate the supply and the price of commodities. All right, this is what a lot of these older families are using their trusts to do, to create monopolies. All right, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, JP Morgan Chase. All right, the Morgans and the Chases, you know, all these families are setting up these trusts as corporations. All right, and they're using it to create monopolies and control productions, fam. They're keeping it all in the family. Let's keep moving along here. Hopefully it's legible. Hopefully you can see exactly what I'm talking about. And just like those families who are operating those private trusts, they're using tyranny. Look, I know I've gone over this before, but I really just want to drive this home and make the connection. Arbitrary or despotic government. The severe and autocratic exercise of sovereign power, either vested constitutionally in one ruler or usurped by him by breaking down the division and distribution of governmental powers. All right, so in this country, we're supposed to have checks and balances to divide power. All right, House of Representatives, like Congress, Senate, the judicial branch, the legislative branch, the executive branch. Like all these different branches are supposed to check and balance the powers of each one. One can't completely usurp the power of the other two and have like a supreme iron fist or supreme sovereignty to exercise. They don't have that. But there have been people who have tried to do such things, all right? And if these people or these entities are able to wield their power and we the people cannot check them, you know, it's just all out tyranny. And that's what we have the Second Amendment for, 2A. The Second Amendment, it says the right to keep and bear arms and to have a well-organized and regulated militia in order to ensure the people are free from tyranny. All right, that's the Second Amendment, fam. Hopefully that makes sense. And some families have been using trusts and have been ruling through corporations. All right, last but not least, I want to go over this one, utilities. I want to link how humans are utilities. All right, so when you think of human resources, every single business, every single company most likely has a human resource department. Now, if you break that down, you think about it critically, human resources, all right, pretty much the human is the resource. The human is the utility. That's why I want to break it down. It says, look, in patent law, industrial value, all right? Take note of this, industrial value. That's the first thing. Something that has value to a certain industry. Now, human resources, a resource can be used for different type of industries. And if labor is a resource, humans provide that labor, then humans have an industrial value. Do you get where I'm going with this? The capability of being so applied in practical affairs as to prove advantageous in the ordinary pursuits of life. All right, to prove advantageous. All right, so having human labor, having human capital, we've moved slightly beyond the old form of chattel slavery in America. All right, being bonded with chains, being bound to a certain place, enforced. Now they've changed it. The chains are invisible. The binds, you cannot see them. The binds are in contract, fam. And it says, look, advantageous in ordinary pursuit of life. That's like business every day, or add to the enjoyment of mankind, fam. Making life easier. All right, so hopefully you get where I'm going with this, how humans have become a utility for tyrants in this corporation ran as a trust from the indigenous people of this land. Hopefully all that made sense. If you can connect the dots, you can see the plan. This is your brother Zach Bay, Indigenous American Moor. Thank you for joining me once again. Peace.